Okay, here we go. Here we go. Better get some food at P.F. Chang's.
Yeah. Well, there's no reason to push them that hard. Like, no. Oh, don't you say?
Alright, just landed. 7.5 hour flight. Not bad at all. Certainly beats those flights over to the Middle East, over to Egypt.
Hey,
Yeah.
that was a long time on the runway.
Yes.
2 hours.
I think somebody was having some health issues on the plane and we were stuck on there for 2 hours.
We're taking seats out.
Hey, we're here. We're here in Cusco.
Looks pretty nice.
Yeah, I've stayed here before. It's a nice place.
Let's go check it out. Really beautiful. We're gonna go dinner.
Oh, that's what I want.
Gabriel just arrived. Oh, there's the girls getting ready. Looking good. Looking good.
We're gonna eat right now, right?
Yeah. Hi. Good, how are you? We're here in Peru, first day. Gonna go get some food. I don't know where we're going. We're just following Eden.
It's a
Full trust.
Peruvian restaurant. Looks pretty nice.
Peruvian restaurant.
To our little faculty crew here. Oh, is Matt here yet?
No,
They don't arrive till tomorrow.
I don't know. I think the 25th.
Matt and Jenny, the 20.
Where are we going this morning?
I'm going to Sacsayhuamán.
Pack a sweater.
2 alpaca sweaters.
You can do it.
More oxygen in my muscles.
Here we are at Sacsayhuamán. Just climbed up that hill from our hotel. Quite a climb, pretty steep, not to mention the altitude. But just to give you some sense of scale, that rock there is taller than me. Trying to give you a sense of scale. That stone's probably 2.5, 3 times the height of me, probably 3 times.
Yeah, in our constellation, in our Milky Way, the llama is very important animal. In our constellation, there are the figure of the llama. That's the llama to sitting and then to drink the river of the cosmic river. Yeah, that represent the knowledge in our culture.
Okay, so there are 3 walls here, right? There are 3 walls, and the 3 walls are making the shape, right, of a snake. So it's very reminiscent of what you see in Chichen Itza as well, related to Quetzalcoatl. But the story here is about, the Quechua, I guess the Peruvian Incan version of that story is Viracocha. And Viracocha is their god who came and taught them all after a big cataclysm how to, rebuild. But we believe that these walls are much older than the Incan period. And Marco here, met with me yesterday and took me on a kind of a private tour around. And we found some pretty interesting new things as well. And I actually believe the reason for the 3 walls here is, and the shape is that of a scalar wave. So it's got pointed points on each of them, but it still represents a snake. So when you look at it from a satellite photography, it definitely looks like snake still. But the 3 walls, I believe, are representing the Ida and the Pingala. And the central wall is actually related directly to the Sushumna, which is what gets formed. So when you have the 2 snakes going up the staff of Hermes, up the vertebrae, up the spine, then once they finally go up, these are also represented in Kabbalistic mysticism, which is, in the form of Boaz and Jachin, the 2 pillars in Solomon's temple. When you learn finally the central point, when you find and achieve the balance of the circle and the square, the masculine for the square and the feminine for the circle, and you'll see the representations of that over here as well, and up on top at the temple. Then what happens is the Sushumna comes fully online. These are represented in Hertz frequencies, as in precise temperament tuning in a 24-note scale. You have one side of that, which is 432, and 528. Everyone used to always argue about that. Which scale is better? Is it a 528 scale, more healing, or is it a 432 scale? Well, actually, they're both part of the same scale in a 24-note scale. So you just have to go to a 24-note scale, and then they're perfectly in the same scale in precise temperament tuning. The center one is 444 hertz. So you've got 432, 444, and 528. And so you'll see one of these walls is closer to the other wall. So it's closer to the 432. And because of this reason, right? And the offset, I think, relates to the positioning of the heart. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and walk through this. You're going to see that we discovered there are 3 anchor stones. And the 3 anchor stones have this unique characteristic. Maybe Marco, you could talk about it a little bit, that they have each of them 7 large stones around them.
Yes, and 11 corners.
And 11 corners,
Yeah.
right? Which is interesting because in order to get 7 stones around it, you have to have a doubling up of corners, right? Which is not easy to do. You can kind of see it in some of these rocks here, where you can see how there's a bend around the corner. So there's 2 corners on that one stone right in the center, probably the vision right there. And so they did that the same way. And so there's 7 and 11. Now, what is the reason that you believe in archaeology why they did that?
The reason it's to found a coincidence about that nature hills are covered in this upper part area to decide to build this religious building in this place. And then they made that 3 temples also on top with different shapes. One was the circle shape, another the rectangular shape, another the square shape. Those temples were the main temples on those areas. But the main was the circle. In that reason, that temple permit to found our race of our society in this time. But in that figure to close that any figures, any geometric figures, that is the representative of our flower of life. No? That was the reason yesterday explanation about that to found that many geometric figures, also the rectangle, the square, any figures. No? That was the reason we consider in our folklorical describe that is the pipe, pipe, cosmic pipe, that connection with the Milky Way and this Earth. No?
Yeah.
Now we will see that. No? It's very interesting to know that place cause or understand the reason of this building in this upper part area also.
So, but how does the circle relate to the 7 and 11?
The circle, also in the circle, when you make the figures into these 3 circles, you may found that these 11 corners, 7 corners, 3 corners, 4 corners, but all these numbers are mystical numbers, are close in that circle to make those different figures inside. That was the reason that circle building was the main circle or the main place into these 3 huge walls. That was the reason. That was the important temple in our culture.
and very interesting. So there's another aspect of this that relates to these 7 and 11 relationship, and that is the Great Pyramid of Giza. If we were to look at it just based on ratios, the height would be 7 units, its base is 11. 7 and 11. So why is 7 and 11 so important? Because 7 and 11 will give you this angle of 51.85397 degrees, exactly. And that happens to be, if we make a circle from the base of the pyramid, so the bottom of the circle is tangent to its base, and is tangent to the apex of the pyramid. So then it has a diameter that's the height of 7 of the pyramid, right? And then we take half of the pyramid's base, and we make a square from that. So you're going to have 11, so it's 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. That gives you a perimeter that is exactly the same as the circle's circumference that goes from the base of the pyramid to the top of the pyramid. So it's a perfect balancing of masculine and feminine, and it's squaring the circle, or sometimes referred to as quadrature of the circle.
I think so. The circle was represent the pipe, the imagination pipe, but that building, the height was 20 meters before, but that it's the hypothetic describe. Maybe were no more than 20, but no less than 15 meters. But was huge. But that was the reason it's like came to connection the energy of the Milky Way and this Earth. No? But that was the reason those humans to choose this hill for build this religious building in this upper part area. When you are on top, in there you get that conclusion. When you are in the upper part area, the view, it's old of all these. You may see all this valley when you are in that upper part area, and then it is the unique hill to see when you're coming into this valley. When you are in the gate of this valley, the first hill to see was this, and then they need to build also these huge buildings in this upper part area.
Well, we have 3 hills here.
Yes.
So each of these blocks, some of these blocks are more than 100 tons each. And you can see that they're made of limestone, they're soft stone, but the way that they've jointed them together is like mind-boggling. And just standing next to some of these very large ones is really, really amazing. We're gonna go up to the anchor stone. So I have to figure out a way to measure the distance between all of these. The hills I can do because I can do that on Google Earth. But it definitely looks like Orion orientation. So this is the first anchor stone. And I've been here before a few times and never noticed this before. But you can see this anchor stone here on this wall is the largest stone on the wall. And you can see that there's 7 stones around it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? But the number of joints that they count that's very consistent is that, like here, that's 2 joints. You see how it's got 2 joints? So then you've got 1 at the base, 2, 3, 4, 5, again, another 2 joints, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the way that these joints are basically wrapped is consistent with the other 2 stones. And so they've noticed this, they've known this for a long time, but it's not something I had ever realized. But the 7-11 relationship is related to the circling of the square and the squaring of the circle. And that, I believe it's a threshold knowledge. Now, Marco said this yesterday as well. This is a site that's much older than the Incans. You know, he thinks it's probably 5,000 years old. I think it's probably more like 13,000 years or older. I actually think that this place might actually be the last remnants of what was the Lemurian culture that, you know, spanned the Pacific Ocean and Rapa Nui and Easter Island and all that. And I think this is, you know, part of the border of that culture's expansiveness at that point in time in prehistory. So this is a very special place. And there's another stone like this just over there we're going to walk over. And he thought they were equidistant, but I don't believe that they are. We're going to measure them. Now, of course, the square and the circle together when you have this ratio of 7 and 11, it makes a triangle.
Yes.
And
Many
that-
triangles.
That triangle is divinity.
Yes.
It represents the divine aspect.
I think it's a nice
This is the second anchor stone. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But the joints 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So again, the 7-11 relationship squaring the circle. And we'll have to look at this in satellite photography, which we've got pretty good images of, to find exactly these stones and then find their correlation and measure them precisely. So we can see, I think they're actually matching these three hills.
There are about
So it's going up. I see a
Yeah.
snake coming like this. It's a petroglyph.
yeah, it is hieroglyph.
Yeah. These are similar to the ones in Egypt. Similar style. Do you see that? Where you just threw the rock, that's a snake head? Right there?
Use the labels.
You see it? It's right here. A little bit up from where I threw the rock.
Okay.
And you see the eye? The snake? The snake comes down like this on the wall. It's like making an S shape on the wall. And then there's another snake above it. There's two snakes. You see the second snake, Marco?
Yeah.
There's a larger snake on top with an eye. But it not only has a snake, but there's a snake with a beak. There's snakes with beaks, just like in Mexico. So this is like Quetzalcoatl. The same thing, the feathered serpent has a beak.
But the small snake, it's clear, no? It's
Yeah, the small snake is there. The
top.
big snake is here,
On top, it's six-sided.
right here, right there.
In this, I don't have. In that stone, in that, I don't look at that. You may see.
Yeah, yeah, I see the back of the other snake.
Yeah.
It's larger with a head. It comes down here as well, and they're right next to each other. Like that.
This. Oh.
Uh-huh.
Part.
Well, now that you've looked that up, it means we got to look at all this stuff. Because there's probably petroglyphs on all of it that haven't been seen before. Has that been known? Or you just saw that? Is that well known?
Yes.
Yes? Has there been any other petroglyphs found?
Yes, in this area, yes. We will found on back of this mother earth womb
Uh-huh.
more, and also in this there are in the wall along of the wall
Uh-huh.
the huge figure of a snake.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So this is very similar to how they did it in Egypt with petroglyphs on the walls.
I
of the
show now
pyramid.
that huge snake.
Okay, so this is, so it was one, the other one was over there, right? So it's every other?
Yeah.
It's not, so it's this one, this is the anchor stone.
Yes.
The other anchor stone was on the
Yeah.
other side over there.
The middle of
And then the other one was two over as well.
Yes.
And it looks like it's going like this. Yeah, we have to look at that. It's not equilateral because it's not straight.
No, and when we were over there yesterday,
Yeah, totally. Well, and it's interesting they put the Christos on top of that because if that is representing either Mintaka or Altina, which are the two stars of Orion on the outer sides of the belt, then it represents ascension. And it's interesting that they put a Christos, a Blanco Christos on top of it, because it is about Christ consciousness. That's what this whole ascension path is in the belt stars of Orion. The central star is Al-Nilam, and Al-Nilam is Orion's gate. That many believe is the place that human souls come through as a portal to come to Earth. Okay, so let's keep going. You guys see this? The snake head is right there,
yeah.
and then it goes the body all the way around. That's the neck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Until that is the tail.
Yeah, so the tail is going up. Yeah.
This represents chakras.
Yeah.
That is
Here we go again.
our
So this is the crown, the snake, right head, and each one of them is the chakras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, so the 7 and 11 is showing up in just a different way. So we see this all around the world. This relationship to the chakras, Indian culture, how is it possible? I think it's a threshold knowledge. When a culture civilization starts to understand how to square a circle and knows how to balance masculine and feminine energy, when it does that, it can have a very different perspective on its universe and be able to work with it in a more symbiotic way. And realize that the material world is a function of the mental world, that it's not an objective and material universe as much as it is a mental and subjective universe. And you can impact it. You're a co-creator of it. So once you start realizing that, because you've balanced your masculine and feminine energy, you go up the chakras to the higher order understanding. You can start to access higher order dimensions. So now we're moving into the 5th, or the throat chakra. That's the 5th dimensional state. It's the realization that love trumps judgment. And that's the key to enlightenment, is when your expression of love supersedes and exceeds your desire to be right. You no longer need to be right. Instead, you just want to love. And that is the core aspect. It's when the heart starts to really take over as the lead between the brain and the heart. Okay, so if you want to continue to watch this, we're going to be doing this with our virtual pass. You could find the virtual pass that's on my Instagram page. It's the link on my Instagram page. You could also find it. It's been posted onto my Facebook accounts, etc. And we'll make sure it's also in the Telegram page and all the other places, also on Orion, for those of you that are also on Orion. And hope you join us. This is going to be an amazing adventure, and I think it's already starting out with a few new discoveries that relate Sacsayhuamán to the Orion correlation as well. Have a great one, everyone. Sending you all love, and wishing you all the best.
With the altitude, it's pretty hard going.
It is hard for the breath.
Yeah, those foreigners.
Where we're going now is going to take us to, there's a series of underground network tunnels that we're going to go into. Hopefully the covers will still work so you can see it. And the weather's kind of unpredictable. It's hot on the way up, and now that's why I brought this jacket, because I knew it could be like this. Now it's kind of cold and a little bit rainy. So this was a pool reservoir where they had water, and they use it as a mirror to look at the sky, which is amazing. You can see all the aqueducts that basically direct spring water in from the mountaintops, etc. And they come down and they fill this basin here, and it's literally a mirror to the sky. As above, so below.
Just trying to find the rest of the group. I stopped off to do some drone filming. Thankfully Eden dropped her location, so just trying to follow them up the mountain now. Still trying to find these guys. It says that I'm right by them. Here they are. Okay, I just had to make up 10 minutes up that hill, so I'm pretty tired. Whew. There's Robert down there doing Instagram to all his fans, walking up these hills, giving a full-on lecture. Must be fitter than what I realized.
If you have coca lips, you may do the offering. Mostly, sometimes choose the best lips, and then to make three lips in group, or 7 or 12 is good. But and then you need to put in your mind and your heart, and then to live when you feel good in the different areas.
Do you leave it in there?
Yeah.
You leave it as an offering to the mountain, and so you put
You
like
choose
your
the place. You choose when you feel in that place, or you feel to put that, you put in there. That lips. Okay. You take off your back. Oh yeah. You take off your back, and then you pass on rubber.
pass things.
Thank you.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. No problem.
Yeah, I mean, you squeezed through there, dude. That was pretty tight.
I was tight. I was like squeezing in tight.
All of the pounds you lost.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, heading down into a little cave here. Another little tunnel.
Crown chakra activation.
Right. I haven't even looked yet, but I know it is.
Are you ready? I'm gonna do the banana. Okay.
What's the banana?
wa su trun wa akatriania ya su trun wa uku trun wa ia tria wa su unku tria akatriania wa ko satria ia wa mola wa pua ko satria ia triania wa uku su trun wa kaya triania ia kia satria ia wa una wa pu ko trua sia tria aya ketria.
Es de historia en pizarra. Historia de Cusco.
Ya, no, tú. Subir escala está descansa.
Okay.
Ya.
Okay. Like riding a bike, easy. Until it goes on, gets scared by that alarm and starts sprinting down the road.
I did 2 weeks in Africa on horseback. Oh, all right, nice. It's my first time on horse. My first time was on camel, and that makes sense, right? Because it looked like an Arab.
Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Para atrás. Pull back, pull back.
Did you get it?
I got it. That was a close one. That was pretty funny. Robert. Horse almost went halfway up the valley. Luckily he pulled the reins in time.